Hey guys, it's Bonnie. So today I wanted to talk about 5 unusual things I do to reduce my travel costs. This is how I am able to travel as much as I do and how I plan on traveling even more in the future. So I thought that was something that's really important to share on a channel that I talk so much about traveling with. So the first thing I do that has dramatically reduced the amount that I have to pay when I go somewhere is, as much as humanly possible, I do not pay for accommodations while I travel. I stay with friends, stay with family. I set it up where I work in hostels in exchange for sleeping. I have slept in my car, and I also am planning on just pitching a tent sometime in like a national park, things like that. All these little things you can do really help. Accommodations are typically your most expensive, the most expensive part of travel, so if you're able to cut that out, then that's a huge portion of your travel expense. The second thing I do that is quite unusual is I have gotten pretty good at knowing the edible plants, at least in my area. I took a whole semester class on this. As a result, I'm a really good forager in my area. I can find berries, I can find leaves for, flowers for tea, I can find little things like that, just edible things, and that helps supplement my diet. A lot of people fish, a lot of people hunt. I am planning on getting more into both of those things while I'm in Alaska this summer, but that helps supplement what I need to buy from the grocery store. I do still go to the grocery store, I do still buy food, but I definitely try to find what I can in nature, since that is something I have the ability to do, and I feel like all of us to some degree have the ability to do that. Some of us probably know what a blueberry looks like if we see it in the wild, and some of us probably know how to fish fairly well. So I think that's something that pretty much all of us can use no matter where we are, no matter what our background is. So the third thing kind of ties in a little bit with both those first things. So I mentioned sleeping in a tent, I mentioned fishing. Well, you might be saying, I don't have the stuff to do that. I know how to do it if given the opportunity, but I don't have the stuff for that. So one thing I've been doing is checking out the free groups in the areas I go to. So my plan is about a week before I get to Anchorage, I'm going to be posting asking, has anybody got a tent, a sleeping bag, a cooler, like just little things like that that I know I'm going to need for this. And then if I get those free, if I get those cheap, that's a huge reduced expense. If it's something you already have, that's great, but I feel like a lot of us don't have those things, and finding a way to get those tools cheap really helps in the long run. So number 4, what I do that is quite unusual for reducing my travel expenses is I have gotten rid of my lease altogether. So I am still currently in my apartment. It is May 14th. My lease ends May 1st. I have to be out by 5 p.m. May 1st. After that, I do not have a lease, and I don't know when I'm going to have really a set place. I am going to be working at a place that's going to provide housing, but I'm not going to have like a set lease, and it's going to be just short-term housing just while I have that job. And that really helps because just like when you're on vacation, typically the biggest expense you pay in your daily life is your rent or your mortgage, and so getting rid of that expense really helps when you're trying to travel and trying to be able to travel for a long period of time and not feel like, oh, I need to come back to my place, I need to check on it, I need to make more money because, my rent's due. That really helps. If you own your home and you really don't want to get rid of it, or if you are in a lease that allows you to and you don't want to lose that lease, there is the option of like Airbnb, subleasing, like things of that nature. But if you can make it where that place is no longer an expense to you, it really can help prolong your travels and make them a lot shorter. And then that brings me to my 5th unusual way that I am able to travel so much, and that is seasonal work. It gives me the ability to make money while I travel to a new place, and it provides housing, either free or cheap. Typically, if they do charge for housing, it just comes directly out of my pay, so I don't see the money, so I don't know, it's kind of not there as far as I can tell. So those are my 5 unusual ways that I am able to reduce my travel expenses, thus allowing me to travel more. So I don't pay for accommodations, I forage food and hunt for food as much as possible. I check free groups for camping gear and other gear that may be needed. I got rid of my apartment, and you should get rid of your house, or at least lease it out so you're making money off of it while you're not there. And then I got a seasonal job which provided me with accommodations and additional money. So thank you guys for watching. If you have another unusual way that you are able to travel, you should comment that below because it will help us all. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'll talk to you again soon.